hot tub. Typically, it takes 3 years of seasoning to ensure the African knows his place in the New World. During the seasoning process, we divide the African into 3 categories: New African or saltwater African, Old African, and Creole. Once we divided all the Africans, children too, we then start the process of teaching them how to socialize and how to be disciplined, obedient workers. Afterwards, we place them in their field as either a field hand or plantation worker. Most of them go to the fields. The purpose for seasoning the blackie is to remove all that he remembers about Africa. North Carolina, plantation overseer, the colonizer. Blacks are childlike people, unequipped for freedom. Blacks are genetically, therefore permanently, inferior to whites. Blacks are hedonistic children, irresponsible, and if left to their own plans, would be nothing but idleness and worthlessness. Post-emancipation legislation. Colored, no longer blacks, are a dignified race of people. Black codes, Jim Crow era. The law says we now have to call them Negroes. To call them black is derogatory. And now we can't even call them colored people anymore. That's derogatory too. The black community, the black culture, the black entertainment, the black school, the black man, woman, and child is the handmaiden of European imperialism. The Memphis Police Department assembled a special task unit to, as they said, restore peace in our crime-infested communities. The result? 5 blacks dehumanized. Brother Tyron Nichols, as he cried out for his mother. By the same token, it was the black culture, the black entertainment that dehumanized Brother Christopher Wallace, Tupac Shakur, Kersnick, Kerry, Ball. The black community, the black culture that dehumanized Brother Robert Ballou, Benjamin Wilson, Ermias Ashingdon, the field hands are the backbones of the plantation economy. We divide them into different work groups depending on their age, health, and skill. There we know who can work the cotton and sugar fields, or who can work the rice and the tobacco plantations. Forest has to be cut for new farmland. Dikes and ditches have to be dug for rice production. Yup, the field hands have the most brutal and dangerous jobs. I'd rather be dead than to be a blackie field hand on any plantation. The plantation worker. Now, if I were a blackie, I pray to the good Lord himself, Lord, make me a plantation worker. We use the old African male and the old African female, for they've been here the longest and they know the plantation system. Also, they help keep watch on the field hands too. But it ain't no picnic for the plantation worker, I must say. The old African males take care of all the physical labor need doing outside the master's home. And they take care of all the animals too. The only time the old African male is allowed in the master's house is to bojangle for the master and the missus, or so the children can saddle him too. I keeps a close eye on the old male every time he's in the master's house. Now, the old African female, she takes care of all the master needs inside the house. The missus don't lift a finger. That's what the old African female is there for. She even takes care of the master's children too. Sometimes Mr. Whitefield plays the good Lord himself. Whatever he, the missus, and the children don't finish on the table, he give them to the old African instead of the dogs. Georgia plantation overseer. The field hand would go on to be later known as the Negro field slave. The plantation worker would go on to be later known as the Negro house slave. On September the 2nd, 1955, Miss Mammy Till, believing that the nation had to bear witness to the brutalized, disfigured corpse of her son, ordered the casket to remain open during the funeral services of Emmett Till.